Japan is consistently ranked as one of the safest countries in the world. In 2017, there were 307 homicides in Japan, compared with over 800 in the UK and over 17,000 in the US. Japan does, however, have some cases that are quite strange and a few that even go on unsolved. In the early hours of April 23, 1994, in Tokyo's western side, a park worker would go on to discover two dismembered hands, 2 feet, a right shoulder, an ankle, and various scraps of flesh and bone. In total, there were 25 human body parts in trash bags scattered throughout the park in 7 different trash cans. The deceased's head, chest, and genitals have never been found. Inokashira Park is located west of Tokyo, close to the popular residential Kichijoji neighborhood in Mitaka City. The park now hosts the Studio Ghibli Museum, some athletic fields, a zoo, aquarium, some cafes, and is a favorite place to view cherry blossoms in the springtime, and even take a boat ride in its popular pond. On April 23, 1994, police were called to the scene of an incident where human remains were found. The 27 trash bags were taken to a lab to investigate. Police found that no effort was made to cut the body at the joints where the limbs could be severed more easily. It is believed an electric saw and a blunt knife were used, with some cuts made all the way through and others only part of the way through, before breaking off the limb itself. The trash bags were tied off using a special knot that's only usually used by fishermen. The victim was also believed to have been alive as the murder occurred. In the lab, investigators also discovered that all fingerprints were attempted to be removed from the body. However, there were a few that remained. Due to the partial fingerprints and DNA evidence, police were able to identify the victim, who police referred to as S. The public later found out the true identity of S. It was actually 35-year-old Seiichi Kawamura, who was a first-class architect and who lived around the park. There was little information that could be directly linked to the incident, but before dawn on the 23rd, at around 4 a.m., the day the body was discovered, a witness said that they saw 2 suspicious men in their 30s walking into the park with a plastic bag. Some also believe they may have witnessed Kawamura getting beat up by 2 men near a department store on the side of JR Kichijoji Station after midnight on the 23rd. There was another report that a crash was heard sometime before dawn, and the witness saw a car collide with a person in the street. Due to witness accounts and the strange discovery, a few different theories exist about what happened to Mr. Kawamura. The first theory is that Mr. Kawamura was involved in an accident or a fight, and the other party, either a criminal or someone for fear of charges, disposed of the body. Another theory was that Mr. Kawamura was involved in some sort of religious cult who would commit various crimes. However, there were multiple investigations into his life which revealed no image of someone who would be involved in criminal activities. In 2015, a writer for the Daily News Online wrote an article where we were able to gain new testimony from someone involved in the case. The witness explained that Mr. Kawamura was actually not the target of the murder, and he thought that he was the actual target. He went on to explain that many people would mistake him for Mr. Kawamura in town, and it wasn't until after the incident, when he saw the images of the victim on the news, that he understood how someone might make this mistake. The witness went on to explain that the people involved with the murder were gangsters, and since the incident, he's lived in fear, moving from hotel to hotel, being followed in the streets. His story goes on that after the burst of Japan's bubble economy in 1994, the number of foreign street vendors disguised as hippie tourists increased rapidly in the area. Many were described as Korean youths. The witness described themselves as the face of the street stalls in the area, and had become an enemy for many businesses who didn't want to adhere to the rules of the area. In order to keep some vendors out of the area, he would argue with them. However, some were believed to be involved with gangs, potentially linked to North Korea. He believes that this is what started a turf war in the area. As if the story couldn't get more bizarre, a year after the interview, the witness's family was murdered, and their bodies were dismembered and abandoned. The suspect from the murder is believed to have fled abroad and has not been arrested. The relation between the witness's interview and what happened later is unconfirmed. But could it be likely that it was just a coincidence? Just 11 months after the incident, public and investigative attention turned to the sarin gas attack on the Tokyo subway system. In 2009, the statute of limitations expired on the case. This means any legal action could not be taken on any of the events that occurred on April 23, 1994. To this day, the case remains unsolved. What do you think? Have you heard any other stories? Let us know in the comments. Be sure to support our channel by liking this video and subscribe for more encounters from the dark. Thank you.